Morning, it's Helen from the Cut Flower Patch. Today I'm going to be pricking out the Gadisha seeds that I sowed at the beginning of the year. They've now got their 2 true sets of leaves, so they're ready to be pricked out. Because pricking out's a process that we'll use over and over again, I thought it might be useful to do a separate post about that, so if you need to, you can refer back to it when your other seedlings are at that stage. Okay, so here are my Gadisha seedlings that I sowed probably about 8 weeks ago now, and they're at the stage when they need to be pricked out and moved into its own pot so it can benefit from the space and the nutrients from a separate pot. So firstly you have your 2 seed leaves which come first, and they're the ones that basically give the light to the seedling, and then you get what we call the 2 true leaves, main leaves, which are these 2 ones in the centre, and that's a sign that they're ready to be pricked out. There's certain seedlings you might want to prick out sooner, things like Magus and Icelandic poppies. They grow a bit like cress and they're everywhere, and you might want to prick those out sooner. They do look very delicate when you first do it and you're worried slightly they won't survive, but these are some Icelandic poppies I probably pricked out about 4 or 5 weeks ago now, and they're looking absolutely fine. So what we need to do is we're going to pot these Gadishas into 9cm pots. So I've filled some 9cm pots with multi-purpose compost. You then need to make a hole in the middle of the compost, quite deep actually, because you want to make sure you can get as much root in there as possible. So I've just made a hole in the centre there. This is a tool I've had for absolutely years, this metal tool, but you can use a seed label or a pen, or I've seen people use teaspoons, things like that. So the key to this is, firstly, let me just move this so we can see it a little bit better. We need to make sure that we get as much of the root as possible, and also we mustn't touch the stem or we mustn't touch the 2 true leaves, but we can handle the original seed leaves, the 2 outer leaves, because it doesn't matter so much if they get damaged now at this stage. So holding this Gadisha by its seed leaf here, what I need to do is go in and try and get as much of the root as possible. The thing is to try not to damage the root and not to disturb it, so that looks fine. So there's a nice amount of root on that. And then I'm going to drop that, just move that so you can see. It's quite a delicate process. So then I'm going to drop that into the hole there. Now, if your seedlings are looking a bit leggy, these are looking a bit leggy actually, I probably should have pricked these out a couple of days ago, but what you can do is pop it deeper into the hole. The main thing is, as long as your leaves are still on the surface so they can benefit from the light, that'll be fine, and it makes it a little bit stronger if you do it like that. It's a process I really enjoy doing, actually, pricking out. It's very mindful. I find it a very mindful thing to do. I know some people find it tedious, but I quite enjoy it. Then we need to put a label in and give it a water. And then pop that in your greenhouse or cold frame or polytunnel, whatever you're using to shelter it from the frost and the wind. And then something it is worth mentioning, every day I would open up your greenhouse or polytunnel or cold frame, whatever you're using, just to let in some air. Otherwise the compost will get quite mouldy, and the seedlings really need some ventilation so they can thrive. And then probably in about 6 to 8 weeks time we can start to harden these off to get them ready to go into our cut flower patches. But for now they're all looking good. I've also the gypsophila that we sowed at the beginning of the year, I've also pricked my gypsophila out as well, because that started to get its 2 true leaves. So they're all looking good. Okay, I hope that makes sense, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.